Hello and welcome back YouTubers to another episode of Pokemon Theories, the show where 9 out of 10 doctors agree Professor Oak isn't really a professor and going to the gym doesn't mean pumping iron. Today's Pokemon Theory: why are there fairy types in Pokemon X and Y but not in the other generations? It's a good question. As we saw with Generation 2, the addition of Dark and Steel types changed some things. Most notably, Magnemite from Generation 1 became a Steel type, which would make more sense. But what doesn't make sense is how one Pokemon like Clefairy can be a normal type, then all of a sudden become a fairy. So, Clefairy is going to be my prime example, though there are other Pokemon from the previous generations that carry over like Jigglypuff and Peekaboo. I mean Meryl. Not like I'm hinting at my next video or anything. But back on topic. Clefairy, changing into a fairy type. It even went so far as to make it a full fairy type, dropping its normal type completely. So, what kind of Pokemon is Clefairy classified as? Let's consult Dexter.
Clefairy. This impish Pokemon is friendly and peaceful. It is believed to live inside Mount Moon.
Other entries list it as a fairy, stating multiple times that it draws its power from the moon. So obviously, early on, it has been shown that Clefairy draws its powers from the moon, evolves from the moonstone, and even floats with moonlight and lives on Mount Moon. Even in Episode 6, Season 1, it is shown that Clefairy's powers and its affinity towards the moonstone. It is shown later in another episode that Clefairy secretly is stealing people's stuff to build a rocket ship to return home. So, the obvious conclusion is that fairy types are aliens. Alright guys, theory over, we're done here, right? Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for coming, thanks for staying tuned. Nope, not even close. While that would account for an entirely new type to show up, it would not explain the game mechanics. So if game mechanics are a serious problem, right, how does one explain the complete and total conversion of one Pokemon's typing without evolution? Speaking of evolution, though, what if a Clefairy became a different type because it evolved into it over time? A Pokemon like Bagong longed to fly so much that it grew wings, and many other Pokemon evolved because of necessity. But each one of those evolutions created an entirely different Pokemon. It didn't just retain the same Pokemon features like Clefairy did. So, while it may not be wrong to say that it just evolved into a different type, it's probably not the most likely answer. After all, fairy types still have weaknesses, and Clefairy didn't evolve to fight dragons. In fact, Clefairies are not even found around an excessive amount of dragons, so it didn't need to alter its typing drastically just for survival purposes. But there have been cases where Pokemon have evolved because of certain influences, not just the extreme ones like a Thunderstone, but rather Magneton evolving into Magnezone, and Glaceon evolving into Leafeon because of the location. In Kalos, there are many strange things, like a giant gem being used as a sundial, the Chamber of Emptiness, the Tower of Awakening, Glittering Cave, and Geosenge Town. And Kalos is in fact one of the only regions that shows the discovery and research of Mega Evolution. Perhaps it's just something in the water that changes these Pokemon. And while that may be a joke, it isn't too far off from the theory itself. Kalos is an entirely new region and containing a significant influence from the moon, space, and other landmarks. All of these influences emit radiation, similar to that of the ultimate weapon, designed to destroy the world. It's possible that the Kalos region itself emits so much concentrated moon radiation with Zaranus and the ultimate weapon and the other landmarks that it caused the mutation of several Pokemon that are not indigenous to the region. It could perhaps explain why there are many types of Pokemon from other regions like Jigglypuff, Snubbull, and Togepi that end up changing types completely. The specific Pokemon that are effective massively are mostly normal types, so it could be that they just absorb too much radiation, unlike other types who retain their original typing, like Meryl staying a water type. Without concrete evidence, however, there's not really any way to tell how all these Pokemon magically changed. We can only speculate. But at least our speculations can be closer to being true than false. But hey, that's just a theory. Wait a minute, I already did that joke. Well, here's a silly picture of Giovanni instead. Thanks for watching, and remember to leave a like and a comment. If you have a Pokemon theory that you would like me to discuss, leave it in the comment section below. But please check my Pokemon theory playlist beforehand. I already have almost 60 theories covered. I am Protomario, and I'm signing out, and thanks for watching, and happy gaming. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. And now, time for a service announcement from the Maverick Army. Tired of the norm? Is it time for a revolution? Join the rebellion and become a Maverick today by subscribing to Protomario. Remember, together, we can create a new world order of gaming. Mavericks unite. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.